She silently whispers to herself, afraid, holding her breath. Maybe he might hear her. See, he doesn't feel the same way. Maybe had the band, Lady JD.
Nikaja kupenda na moyo wangu wote, binti huyu aliyenifanya ni mwote usiku na mchana, nikawa ni kama nimepagawa, sionekani popote. Nikaja kutenda mambo mengi magumu na mazito ili mradi niwe naye, lakini sasa ninapotazama naona kwamba niliachwa upweke. Nilikuwa na wingi wa mahaba, nilikupenda kinyama, kukutenda sikuwaza kama nikakaza, lakini huonekani mpaka sasa. Nilikuwa na wingi wa mahaba, nilikupenda kinyama, kukutenda sikuwaza kama nikakaza.
1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment.
Rosella, 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 Rosella. Ni kweli niliamua kuondoka, nikidhani nitapendwa, niendako hakuna. Mimi nilidhani nitakuta tofauti yoyote, mpaka sasa sijaona. Moyo waniuma nikikumbuka mambo mengi wewe ulonikosea. Najiuliza, je, ni kweli umebadilika au maumivu ninayarudia? Masikini nashindwa amua, unashindwa. Najiuliza, je, ni kweli umebadilika au maumivu ninayarudia? Masikini nashindwa amua, unashindwa. Rosella, 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 Rosella.
Yani ikosti mingi sana tutazungumza. SMS zangu urudishi, Discord zangu unijibu, simu ushiki. Na najua hizi kuwa ni simu ulipoteza juu social media. Nimeona selfie zako nile top fulani kali nikubaya adashiki. Kweli nikukumisi, nimekumisi tena sana. Na najua umenimiss pia, unanilenga tu juu tuliko sana. Kigo yako iko juu, ulikuwa demo maringo, lakini siteti. Nilikupenda tu hivyo hivyo. Yani tangu unitoke stress iko juu sana. Sura imejaza tu wrinkles. Kila time najipata nimekasirikia tu vitu simple. Hata jokes na peoples na catch wao kishow tu dimples. Yani kosa walisema si kosa, kosa ni kurudia kosa. Na najua ulikosa, but ulikubali umekosea. Shakuzoea, sawa tu, nimekusamea. Una selfish but wish bila wewe machozi mimi siwezi. Daily kukula kwa hoteli tunajua mimi ni mlezi. Malkia smile tamu Christian shape mwezi, sipendi tukikosa, napenda tukichora saba kwa saba. Lava tunajua na kupenda tuko sana. Pamoja tembea da Kenya Moshi Arusha, tunajirusha spending karibu Dolce Gabbana. Mwanaume tunajua ni kujikaza, shopping wa spaghetti crop. 9 months later baby shower na pampa lava imeshikarada. Ladha fast born anakaribisha brother, twende nyumbani ni introduce kwa mother. Rasta ameshapata the other.
Rosella, Rosella,
Better rise soon. 1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment.
Zala na you my baby.
Kuna vile unaniangalia, makes me know what you're thinking about. The way you say good things you say makes me feel some type of way.
Tell me how it is that I can't afford love.
I thought I knew what I should be looking for. Boy, I'm so confused, cause you are on my mind. Baby, I thought I knew what I should be looking for. Boy, I'm so confused, cause you are on my mind. In the end, my baby, oh, your signs are going down. Oh, your signs are going my baby, oh, your signs are going down. My shady, oh, your signs are going down.
1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment.
Feel the freshness.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you are. Welcome to the Reaction Time Thursday. How we doing? One more time, we are back like we never left. If you see our cameras not on, just know we are working from home. I will be still adjusting into it. Super amazing. On my end, I can't hear noises today. There are no bullets apparently, but the police are all over, man, spread all the way from 8 a.m. For those who don't know what has been happening in the 254, there's been demonstrations for the commemorations of the Gen Z lives that were lost last year during the financial demonstration time around this time. So today, Kenyans were supposed to be on the streets commemorating the death, and apparently the roads were blocked in the morning. That is going to be top of our conversation. I will just switch to other news and updates apart from that, because on all social media platforms, apparently people are just talking about, demonstration and updates and what is happening. But they call me SH the Money Plans. I'm your captain every Thursday from 4 to 5. But one time, sometimes we get early like today. I'm joined by JOBY. Hi, Joby. Hello. Can you hear me? Joby,
Oh,
I
hello.
can't hear.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing amazing, and welcome to another episode of the Reaction Time. JLBY right here.
Hi, Joby. How are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm doing amazing. How is it on your end?
I can't hear the same thing you've said. I can't hear the bullets and all that. But in the morning, I saw a lot of tension. Matatus are not moving. People were just like, the businesses are not opened. It was just like a lot of tension. Like you could sense the tension on the air.
Amazing, yeah. Cause like I remember, before the laptop, the duty guy was telling me about how the police had been there all the way from 5 a.m. Walianza
Yeah,
kumwagia asubuhi at 5 a.m.
yeah,
And he was telling me that the roads at Masai Mall have been blocked, and
yeah.
apparently roads in Nairobi have been blocked. Most roads leading to town. He told me in the morning he carried a police officer. Na akifika hapo Masai Mall alikatazwa
Mm,
kupita, and the
mm,
police, it's not like they don't know each other, and the
mm-hmm.
policeman was like angoje tu gari ya prison ipite ama gari ya polisi ingine ndio itakubaliwa. So the prison car came and picked him, and then he went. No nduthi was allowed.
Mm,
Even people walking on the road carelessly, people are not allowed, because Rongai is known. Rongai, actually, every time there is demonstrations, we are always on the top conversation. Because I was looking
yeah.
at even the blogs in the morning, the
Mm,
situation in Rongai was actually posted super early, man, super
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but what can you say about all these demonstrations today? A lot of people have not gone out.
Mm,
And of course, if you can see the people that have been out kidogo, of course, have been arrested. Most of them have been arrested, even just walking, mostly in CBD. CBD is super crazy. People are being arrested everywhere. Roads to Mombasa Road was blocked. Thika Road was blocked so early in the morning. I saw Githurai people started burning kidogo tires. But even
yeah.
today, I haven't gotten out of my door, so I really don't know what is happening. I'm just looking from the ground, and I feel like the government was really tense. So
They were.
they had to put their people so early, because they know very well how it goes in Kenya. Because they were saying things are going to go back to normal. If things are normal on a Thursday, then why are matatus not coming to town? Because you said
Exactly.
businesses are obvious. Businesses are going on as always. Then why are you blocking ways? Why are you blocking matatus? Why are you blocking all the roads to town? Why is nobody allowed to walk out? It means
Mm-hmm.
there's so much tension from your end. But I don't know your perspective about maybe the demonstrations today in the 254 from your end.
I I talked about it in the morning, no, in the morning, but of course in the morning from other people's end. But on my
Mm,
show, I just talked about it.
mm,
And looking at why Ruto actually number one was compensating people is because there was already posters going viral that people are going to be holding this demonstration, of course,
mm,
in memorial of those who lost their lives in 2024, 2025 demonstration because of the finance bill, which we
mm.
know majority of the things have been passed into into law, like the active
Exactly.
is now parade despite so many people losing their lives. So
Exactly.
I was sharing a video of she calls herself the Gen Z Buddy and the rest who are on KTN
Yeah.
yesterday, and they were
Mm,
talking about the compensation, to be specific, and why Ruto is trying to compensate people at this time. Why has it
mm,
taken him 2 years for him to acknowledge what him and his regime, what they did was wrong, and it's nothing to do with democracy. And also, when
mm,
it comes to also the demonstration today, we've seen parties like kina Martha Karua na kina Kalonzo. They have tried to
mm,
find a way on how to put up the 2 weeks notification to the police before the today's
yeah.
demonstration. We also have
Mm,
Boniface Mwangi, who I saw him talking, and he's like, "No, we understand the constitution, and we're not
mm,
supposed to be doing all this. This is a democratic country, and people are supposed to be
mm,
demonstrating. So why are you trying to prevent people from demonstrating if you know you are on the right side?" So
mm,
my take on all this, number one, we need to. There's a lot happening. Understand
yeah.
we're going towards election, so
Mm,
of course politicians are trying to find ways on how they can win the people's heart.
yeah.
Win the people's heart because they know number one they're competent, nobody likes them, and all that. So they're trying to find ways on how to win people's heart, but it's very clear, understood that the people don't give a shit. Like the people
Mm,
are willing to ensure this regime imetoka. Ruto na watu wake, like they must step down. That is one thing I've understood from this demonstration, because people wanajua hata me personally they'll be this serious today. I've been seeing the posters from last week, but I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, people are just laughing, people are instilled fear, people are just always reacting on, on the platform of social media, but people are not gonna turn up. But apparently people have turned up. I've seen
mm,
the brutality already, which is very much active out there, manhandling. the
Yeah.
people of
Mm.
and it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. So there's a lot to actually pick from this. The government is trying to, of course, was trying to win the people's heart to pull down this
Silence
demonstration, which is
also
not working.
people. Mm-hmm.
Which is not working. The people have turned out on the street with the same agenda, accountability of not only just the previous actions, but even today's action. And then I just love how Kenyans are now not letting go of things because hiyo story ya kuambiwa sahau because you've been given 3 million, forget. The same thing that the white people have been doing to us when it comes to our history. They give you some few compensation and they tell you, oh, forget, this is a long story, they should be gone.
Yeah.
That's the same thing that the politicians are using. So I love the fact that the Kenyans are refusing to let go of something they know that deserves justice. That's my take.
I definitely do agree. I think a lot of people, even like if you look from the videos that I'm about to maybe share on the screen, kidogo, most of the people, the parents of the kids that died, and the Gen Z kids that died, we've seen people like Vinde, who was actually live streaming, which is still media,
Yeah.
has been arrested and manhandled in town. A guy was arrested super in the morning. He hadn't done anything wrong, and it is just super crazy from the videos that are happening. I'm just about to share maybe on the screen for those who are watching and outside Kenya, just to have a glimpse of how the streets of Kenya are looking like. A few videos on our end. Just kidogo, give me a minute as I just, let me see, as I just find yeah, I'm here. Share. Okay, so I have, this is the situation in Roysambu. Can you see on the screen?
Yeah.
You can. Okay.
Yeah.
That was very early in the morning. This is at 6 a.m. If you can see, it is still super dark. The police had been already out there. We have Mombasa Road, which was locked very early in the morning. Let me see if I can get it on Mombasa Road. Walifunga asubuhi na mapema kabisa because people started turning up very early. I have a friend, I saw their status, alikuwa anajaribu kutoka sijui 5:30 ndo ulikuwa unapata mapolisi baada hajaanza kutokea sana, but at exactly 6, because I remember you woke up like maybe a few minutes to 6 or 7, the police were already out. We have Vinde over here,
Panda hapa juu.
who is a Kenyan.
Kuja.
What is happening is, if you've noticed, they're using of course cops who are in civilians, and I've seen people in the parliament, some of the activists in the parliament who are actually outside the parliament, and they were being attacked by, and then the worst thing is this, they're in civilian and then they're also in masks, so you can't see their faces. Literally, you don't know who they are. You don't know if it's a cop or if it's a goon, and that is what I was talking about, because their videos going viral. And there's a guy on TikTok, I'm gonna share that video, who's talking about how these people we think that are in civilian, or these goons they've employed, they forget that we live with them in the same places. Let me see if I can share this video. Can you see the video?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. I think we lost money for a minute. I don't know.
Sorry?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah, I can see your screen, but I lost you.
Okay. Let me play one more time. Let me start it from the start.
Okay, there's nothing playing.
There's nothing playing.
No.
Okay, let me see if I can remove and share again. Let me see if I can share again. Okay, let me share the screen one more time. Okay, I'm just gonna start from the start and talking about this guy's giving.
Vile mnatutishia nao, amuishi nao, amukai nao kwenu, tutaanza na wao. Na muacha kufikiria tunakuja kwa street. Hii ni mara ya 3 ya 4 nawaambia, ama ya 5. Amsikiangi. Hatukuji kwa street, tunakuja kwenu kwa nyumba. Mweke hao magunu kwa nyumba, make sure mmewapikia wakule, mwakingojeanga siku tunakaa. Kama ni sisi wanakaa na sisi hapa mahali tunateseka na wao, unafikiria juu utawapea 200, tutaanza na wao. Acha nikuambie ukweli mheshimiwa, hatutachafua hii Kenya eti sijui Mjaluo, Mkisii, Mkamba, Mkikuyu sijui. Hiyo ni ujinga. Tutadeal na nyinyi wenye mko na pesa ya kupea hao watu wanatusumbua. Nyinyi ndio mnatusumbua, mpore na bado tena mtukoroge. Wacha tuone mahali mtamalizia. Hatutoroki hii Kenya, hatutakuwa kama wa Burundi wanatoka kwao wanaenda wanakuja hapa kuuza kahawa. Hatutaenda kuuza kahawa nchi ingine. Tutadeal tu na nyinyi hapa within. Wewe
Amazing. That is somebody talking about the government employing goons on the streets, and those who have been put outside. Of course, we know that is the tactic the government is using currently, implying goons on people so that people get confused, so that when you go to the streets, of course, to demonstrate, you see a fellow person stealing or a fellow person trying to actually capture another fellow Kenyan, they try to convince and put goons that are paid in the midst of peaceful demonstrators. And this guy has come and talked about how they're not going to the streets to demonstrate. They're going to go to these goons' houses. I saw also somebody saying, next time we are changing the tactics of demonstration, because the government has actually learned, and I think they think they've won by this. But at the end of the day, the economy has stopped. People have not gone to work. There is no cash flow at the end of it, And most of the time, unapata nothing really continues, and what people are saying is they're changing the tactics, and one of the tactics is going to these goons' houses. Because if it is you and I know you're my neighbor and I saw you snatching and I saw you behaving like a goon, we live within the same community. You can't tell me you've taken that 500 shillings. And I keep on telling Kenyans, chukua pesa yako, chukua pesa, lakini si lazima utoke, si lazima, you don't have to be doing all that, because the money is yours. Apparently they've stolen the money from you. But why are you going against your fellow Kenyans? We live in the same apartments, we live in the same economy, we struggle the same, we buy food expensive. Why are you being allowed, or why are you allowing yourself to be used by the government? It is just super crazy. I don't understand. Now people are also talking about how they're going to actually go to MCA's houses and MP's houses. They're not even going to actually go to the streets. Si government ni ngumu kupata Ruto, lakini najua MP nani ako kwake, tunaenda kwake, and we deal with them on a personal level. Kenyans are really furious and they're not taking it easy. I don't know your perspective about that, Joby, maybe.
Well, this message has been going around for a minute of the people not going to the streets anymore, but going to the MPs, the senators, whoever who's working for these regimes' houses. And I've been literally supporting that, because Washazo, like literally, they have understood our tactic now. Every time the Gen Zs or Kenyans want to demonstrate or air out their opinions, they're gonna turn out to the streets. But there's something they didn't understand during the 2024 demonstration, which happened but on a glimpse, and which can be used again, and that is what they're talking about. We had some few people who went and attacked most of these MPs, senators, businesses, houses, like literally even cautioning them even when they were driving. Like I think kuna video circulating when one of the members of parliament or someone, he was driving on a muddy road and then found other people walking, and he was
Yeah.
forced to walk. He was forced to walk on the same muddy road and abandon his car, because how dare you trying to splash mud on us, and you're the one who's supposed to be fixing this road and you're not doing so, you know? So I love that. I love the fact, or I love the tactic that Kenyans are understanding also how to play now mind games, because it's always been mind games with these
Yes.
politicians. Now they're also playing the same mind games. It's a tit for tat now. You're used to this, we can change this. Because
Exactly.
bet sure people know, of course, the businesses owned by these people. A good example is that the liquor store, Millicent, literally,
Yeah.
here in Rongai, how it was looted, and it's because she supports Ruto. So these people, of course, know. People know. Kuna hii biashara inaonwa na so and so and so. The information will always spread even from the inside, because inaanzanga na mafundi wanakuanga na mdomo sana, literally. You know, mafundi wanakuanga na mdomo sana. Hata kitu ifai kuwa ina spread, they'll be the first people to ensure people know. And you get, so
Yeah.
it's a tactic. I love it. I really love how Kenyans have understood these mind games of the politicians. And when it comes to the goons, also there's something, because this is a message that is being spread by most of the Kenyans. You're being paid in the morning, in the evening, you're left hungry. Your money is not even complete, you know. They pay you half, promising you half the rest of the day. Then when you go for the rest of the day, you don't find them. You don't even know where to locate them. So you're left with the same anger. And then which keeps you in a cycle of desperation of always wanting 500 Kenyan shillings for a handout. Wewe ndo karibu biashara za watu. So
Exactly.
it's not gonna work for long.
Amazing. I definitely do agree with everything you've said. But that is it, family. Under the demonstrations in Kenya, we'll keep on telling you guys, and of course, tell what has been your highlight, Joey. Just as we sum up the conversation, because I don't want us to dive into that so much, because on most social media platforms, that is what is happening. What has been your highlight of the demonstrations today? Maybe an highlight today.
The police how they're handling the people. That's in one, because I've been working since morning. The time I woke up kind of late, but still I managed to catch up with what was happening. Like how they're handling the people who have done nothing. They have no weapon, nothing. People are just demonstrating and doing their thing. But they're so mad and bitter. One thing I also picked is that there was an agreement apparently that the demonstration was supposed to be only operating till 1 p.m. And since the citizens have passed the time, now that causes you're breaking the law. That is what they're saying. You're breaking the law, because the agreement was supposed to be, the demonstration was supposed to be starting from 10 latest and then end by 1 p.m. So the police are mad now and throwing tear gas at innocent people because they feel like it's past time. But there's a chant. Also, another thing I've caught is there's a chant with a group led by Boniface Mwangi and the rest saying that tumesoma, we've read the constitution, we understand our rights, and demonstration is part of our rights. So despite kusema sijui there should be a 2-week police notification, people still understand the constitution unless it's changed, and that is, how has it changed and you don't know? That's the question.
I agree. I definitely do agree. Some of my highlights have been the handling, of course, how they arrest people, and it's just super crazy. Same thing that the government, and same techniques that the government always uses when it comes to demonstrations, which are always peaceful. I don't know why they always use tear gas and live bullets at people. That is something I've never gotten to understand. But just as we move on, apart from political news, I want us to get out of that. I'm going to share a few videos that I have here, and then we'll take to react about it. And maybe through it, I'll ask you a few fun conversations, relationship wise. And of course, one video that caught my eye is about, also one of the videos I'm going to react is a man finding out that his wife is having a relationship with his mbot. So they're lesbian couples. There is also one that found his father-in-law who is gay. Super crazy. And one that is also talking about that not every rich person is a provider, and not every rich man is generous, because a lot of people always confuse that. Unajua ati, oh, I want somebody who is rich, but do they give you money? It's better to have somebody who shares whatever they have than waiting for a rich person na mwenye kupei chochote. I don't know if you've ever been in such situations. Personally, I can start with mine before I share her video. I used to see a friend of mine who used to date this guy, and this guy would give her everything. In fact, I remember Joby ni wale mande mwenye wakipata spenders or blessers anasahau kila kitu. She left the house. She had started creating a house because I think we were just from campus. Alikuwa ameweka nyumba yake supu ka bedsitter fulani, very nice, ameifurnish, very nice looking modern studio apartment. She left it with everything, abandoned it, and went to live in Karen with this guy, only for this guy to leave her 2 years later, and she had to start from nothing. And I remember going to visit her for the first time. The guy had actually, I remember that time the guy had actually introduced her to his kids. The guy was divorced, old white man was divorced. Kutoka alikuja kumtembelea huko Karen. Introduced this girl kama mbochu wake. So alimpea kai kwa servant quarters watoto wake wakikua. And then when these kids go back to the States or whatever, anarudi kwa main house. But she was comfortable because alikuwa anapata kila kitu anataka. But sasa ufala ni she was not being given money. Unaelewa, because she used to travel all over. Unamuona ko China, sija ko Santorini, everywhere in the world. And at the end of the day, she came back to start a new life because aliacha bedsitter yake 2 years later, si kila kitu ilitolewa, imeuzwa, you can't get anything. Amerudi kuanza from scratch. So history iti, if you want anything inaletwa kwa mlango. Buy, hakuna pesa unapewago, unaelewa. I need shoes. Sometimes, you know, as women, when I say I need shoes, maybe the shoes is 5,000, and then I tell you the shoes is 8,000 or 12,000. The 6,000 is mine, you know. Or you don't question, or when I tell you, hey, can I get some money? Si tunaniuliza unataka kufanya nini pesa and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? So this woman is trying to explain that not every rich person is generous. I don't know your preference. Would you be with somebody mwenye anakuletea kila kitu nataka kwa nyumba? You don't see money, you don't touch the money, or somebody that gives you the freedom to always choose. If he has, they share. Yes, it could match, but it's always something.
I love my freedom personally, in or without being in a relationship. I value my freedom, and I think that personally it comes from even where I've grown up, because I've grown up with that really, I don't want to go into it, but of course I've talked about it. I've really grown up in a very kind of controversial home, and it's made me admire my freedom more, like wanting to be alone, doing my shit and all that. Looking at my life and everything I've gone through, it's always been a dream for me to accomplish everything that I have today, specifically speaking of even today, because the things actually I prayed and spoke about wanting to have by a specific time, I had them literally. Like once more, by 25, I wanna be in my home. I wanna be having a job. I didn't know I could get a job, of course, as young and all that. But still, I knew it's possible to make it without a man. I don't know if it makes sense. It's possible to make it without a man. And I'm not with the feminists, don't get me wrong. Let not the audience get me wrong with I don't need a man type shit, feminist bullshit. No. It's just that I think because of the experiences I've seen with my moms and our relationship, and also other people within my community, my other extended relatives, I'm like, nah, I don't want anything like this. I can actually have it by myself and it won't tell me nothing. And I'm sorry. It's just, I stand by that because I've had earned my money, had earned so many things that I have. It's not a coincidence or favor. I've worked so hard for me to be where I am. So do I want a man who gives me everything? Hell no. I'm sorry. No, because it comes with conditions. It's the same thing I was talking about, like I think yesterday or the other day, the foreign aids. When someone is giving you too much, sometimes it comes with conditions. And women sadly don't want to talk about it. Oh, you know, my man, your man, woman. Unampatiana haga na hatujui probably, you know. You're getting your ass dig for you to please a man because he gives you everything you want, everything that is trending. You have a Lamborghini, you're driving all type of cars, But what are you enduring behind the curtains of what you are celebrating, showing the people? That is something that people don't talk about, because everything comes with conditions. Even Sha, to Keith himself, I think he's also talked about when it came to, every time we talk about maybe relationship status or things to do with women, he's been open to say he had to do some things because he wanted to get a girl. And that has been an expression from many men. You have to please a woman in some certain sort of way, make them think you're the real deal, and then they drop the coochie, right?
Basically.
But yeah, for me, no, I've never, and that's why it's a big deal when I talk about marriage. It's a big deal when I talk about kids, because I've never visioned myself like with all that marriage, having a family type shit. I've seen so much in life personally that I value my freedom so much. And also my freedom can come also being in a relationship. Don't get me wrong. I can still have a man who does so much for me, but I have my shit together. Because now having my shit together, it gives me a right to walk away from the bullshit I don't want to tolerate, because I can finance everything that probably this guy is trying to promise me or trap me with, if that really makes sense.
I agree. I definitely do agree. I'd prefer also somebody who I really don't want to be in a position where I am given things out of conditions, because some people they might have it but they don't give. I prefer somebody, because like I do believe kama hiyo yako yenye umepata tunaweza share. So if you have a big one, I know I will always get something, rather than being with somebody who is rich but they're very stingy. Now I'm gonna share this video of this woman just trying to talk about it and expand it, because I feel like women we get it so wrong. Let me see if I can get her, and then I'll share one last video.
Not every rich man is a provider, and not every rich man is generous. And I think a lot of women confuse access to money with access to generosity. Those are two completely different things. Just because a man has money does not mean that he enjoys spending it on a woman. Just because he can afford luxury does not mean he naturally wants to create comfort, ease, stability.
And somebody saying not most wealthy men don't share and are not generous. Just because he has a Lamborghini does not mean eti wewe pia atakubaia Lamborghini. Unaelewa?
Or expansion for someone else's life. Some wealthy men are actually extremely transactional. Everything feels calculated, it feels conditional, it even feels like you have to earn basic softness from him. And honestly, this is where a lot of you girls get trapped. You become so impressed by the appearance of wealth that you stop paying attention to how the man actually makes you feel. He has money, but he makes you feel overly anxious. He has resources, but you still feel emotionally deprived. He can afford luxury, but somehow every act of generosity feels like a negotiation, because provision is a mindset. It's not a bank account. A provider-minded man enjoys contributing to your peace. He enjoys making your life easier. He enjoys seeing you comfortable, supported, relaxed, and thriving. But a controlling man with money, he enjoys power far more than generosity. And a lot of women don't realize the difference until they spend years emotionally starving behind somebody who's financially wealthy.
Yeah, so she's talked about every move is calculated. Every money, everything comes with a condition. It's just not that you will always get it. Because she says provision is a mindset. The freedom for somebody to actually even still provide for you, feel like you're taken care of. You don't feel like he's doing it because of a condition, or he's doing it because you've done something. He's really doing it because he genuinely wants to do it and take care of you, rather than being with somebody who, when they do something, it has to be very calculated. You still feel deprived, but he has luxury. You can still go to Santorini, but una feel like, hey, I'm still on a budget, or there are things I need to do to earn this money. It's kind of conditional instead of just like unaelewa the other way around. because access to money is not generosity, and that is something that people get to confuse,
Is a
mostly women.
provider,
When you're
and
gonna
not
get,
every rich man is.
oh, who you is living a luxurious life, so I'm gonna get that, but it doesn't come super easily, and stuff like that. I'm gonna go through the comments. Someone is saying my nervous system never slide. Pay attention. That's why you should make your own money. You could have not some it be better. Bravo, my dear. It reaches so many girls out here. And somebody saying a generous man is everything always, man. Share with me whatever you got. I don't care, man. I honestly don't care. Because like I know if you make big money, you'll definitely share. Unajua, then if you're always stingy, you're just stingy person. Pesa
Yeah.
kutoka kwako ni noma. Unajua, I'd rather not be as rich but generous than rich but stingy. Somebody also says that. And of course, just the last one, somebody is also saying, greedy multi-billionaire French husband, and it called the name. I remember she admitted she's the one covering her expenses, and you're dating a billionaire. Doesn't really make sense to me. But I'm gonna share one last video, Joby, and this is about oh, there are a couple of videos. Let me share this, and then I'll give you.
Surely now, if you find your boyfriend with your father, you know what? These are one of those secrets that I feel people should go with to the grave. But anyway, let's just prepare yourself. Hello, Joy. Ulisema unapenda stories za men. Sindio? Yeah? So get ready for this one. I have a confession. Just call me Mr. X. Anyway, I started dating my girlfriend 2 years ago. We met in a club and I could tell she was not the clubbing type. And I loved her from that time. It was like love at first sight. So we were both from comfortable homes and I thank God for that. So last year, around June, my business was seriously struggling. I was almost hitting rock bottom, to be honest. So I decided to go to my girl's father for help. But this was after I had mentioned my issues to my girl, and she urged me to go on ahead and try her father. So she could second our opinion, and this could make that fate of mine grow more stronger. Okay? If that was even fate at all. So I chose Friday, went to her dad's offices, and I was shocked that the secretary was not there. She's normally at her desk. And anyway, this was just weird. I brushed it off. The front glass door was open. Not open, it was just not keyed. So I slid the door open and I went upstairs to his office. And the door was just a little open and there was a bit of music. I was like, hey. So I knocked slightly and then I went in, only to find her father bent over by another man. I mean, the father was the bottom. No disrespect for any LGBTQ member. I do not know those terms very well, unless you guys teach me. And Joy, it was his watchman. I knew the guy. We had been there several times with the daughter, so obviously I knew him.
What would you do, Joby? Nani watchman wake? Imagine. No, ma.
He shouted at me to leave. And when I was rushing out, this gate man came and caught up with me and he told me something, in the midst of mkubwa amesema usiongelele hii mambo atakupigia. The disgust in my face, Joy, was unreal. I just got into my car and left. And I did not go to my girl's place that day. I didn't have the courage because I knew if I go to my girl's place, ningemwambia. She has a thing of knowing when I'm lying and when I'm not okay. Late that same night, I hear my dogs barking up on Jay. I decided to go outside. And imagine, there was his car. He was honking in front of my gate. I was like, okay, let me just open. Let me hear what he has to say. I opened the gate. He drove in. And I told him we could ingia and talk. Okay. We talked for like 2 hours. He explained himself to me. I don't feel like giving his explanation. And imagine, I totally understood. He asked me what I'd come for. Na sikumwambia at that time, it's like 2 a.m. bana, so I can't really talk. I'm sleepy. 2 weeks later, I called him and we decided to meet in his office after hours, like 8 p.m. EV. He poured me some cognac and we started talking business. All I needed was a small loan and he offered kunipea double that amount on the favor that I actually have a thing with him. Like I sleep with him. Of course I said no. What does this man take me for? Anyway, went home, thought about it. Then after like a week, he tells me I can come for 12 mic. Okay? I was like, I only needed 2M, right? To boost my business. And he had offered 5 at the time when I was in the office. Now he has topped it up to 12. Guess what? Joy, I hope this stays between us.
Mm.
There's this ghetto friend of mine that I went to. Okay, na nikamuulizia about some drug. Alikuwa anatuambia kwa story that some drugs that wezi normally take to make them kind of emotionless or something. I took the tablet, then went to see him kwa ofisi on a Friday. I did what the watchman did. Don't ask me so many questions. He gave me cash, like 4M cash. Wrote a check ya hiyo ingine, NCBA to be precise. Joy, to be honest, if you ask me whether I remember, whether I feel bad or not about that night, I don't really know how I feel about it. You know? I don't know what tablet it was. At sijui kama ni ya Madhari people, I don't really know. I don't know because I didn't feel a thing. And I added a blue pill, that is the Viagra, on top.
Yeah, so that is what is happening apparently. And people are saying on the comment section, wafanya kenye itakutoa kwa block. Unajua? Because he went ahead, slept with the father of his wife, who he found out was gay.
Well, no, masama.
I'm gonna go through the comments real quick na nione watu wanasema aje kwa hiyo post as we just come to the end of our show. Nasema mimi siwezi ondokea. Sasa eti do kumbe forex inalipa because he was given 12 million. Ngasema 12 million is such a catch. Nasema tuko na dresses Cali and we listen, we collapse and stuff like that. But that is what is happening apparently. Their secrets take to the grave. You're not supposed to talk about. I think maybe the video is long. Maybe alikuwa anasema venye yake alimpata and how she reacted. But maybe we'll share it next time or share more of that next time. But what is your closing remarks?
That's I'm like, I don't know what to say because people do shady stuff for money, for real. And I feel like until you're really, I don't know, there's some situation that will put you in some certain situation that you never thought you'd be in such a situation. If it makes sense, you know. So, hey, kama hivyo ndo nataka kutoka kwa block, watoka kwa block, you know.
Yeah, but backing in a standard. Sometimes I thank God we still have there are things that ground you. Unaelewa? Because I was saying even Obina and nilikuwa naangalia mic check, the mic check podcast, right? Na walikuwa na Obina and then Obina anawauliza swali like eti, what if the president summons you guys to go to the state house, would you go? And then wakauliza to go on what grounds? Eti hizi tu vitu zake, akaambia hizo vitu za president zinakwanga PR. And wamesema wameshakataa mara kama a couple of them wameitwa mara mob state house. They declined. And Obina was shocked, unajua? Because he's some type of person mwenye akitu ataenda mbio sana. Unajua? Kuna nyana uzanga tu like, hey, I'm selling my soul to the devil. And I was going through the comments, people are like, Obina nashanga na amini kuna watu wenye bado wako na principles. Sometimes principles grounds you. And sometimes it helps in a lot of situations. Because they were like, however much au makondenturia wakishaenda huko kwa preso, by the time wanaangalianga, most times it's always PR ya gava. And then they say they're not getting involved at all with anything to do with the government and the president of Kenya. So I definitely do believe, however much you're chasing your bag, to what extent, it's really beautiful to stay grounded. I feel like that discipline inakwanga ina kusavingi for at a long run, honestly. Hata kama ni situation gani. Ni sawa unaweza uza, but ina depend how far can you go. Sometimes it's really important to let that. But your closing remarks for the conversation we had this afternoon, Jovi, please, kindly.
Mine is we've talked about, of course, this situation and the demonstration. I hope just by the end of the day hakuna watu watauliwa. That's my what I'm looking forward to. I hope we don't report any deaths, especially as per for tomorrow, because how the police are handling people is really crazy. And shout out to Kenyans for being so courageous, you know. Yeah, being fearless. Yeah.
By the way, like I've been on the road. I was on the road and it is crazy. Like nimelate sababu ya traffic stops na police. Like they literally made me open my boot. wakifikiria ati yo I'm carrying weapons ama I'm carrying supplies to go support the protests.
Kwani si
That
njia
was crazy.
zimefungwa? Kwani yako imefunguliwa wapi? See, I see the roads have been locked.
No, nilikuwa naenda hapo Imara, and from Sioki to Imara kuna roadblock ine, and they all made me nisimame and everything, and so nikienda Imara na nikirudi from Imara wamefanya nikafungua gari, like at every stop unafungua gari.
Yeah, that's
Which
really
is
crazy. Which is super crazy because huku Rongai wamefunga kabisa, hakuna kutoka Rongai. So if you are stuck in Rongai mpaka kesho, like hakuna kutoka, MMU imefungwa and na wamekama chuma. Mombasa Road nimeona wamefunga, Thika Road wamefunga, njia zote za kuingia Tao wamefunga literally.
Yeah, Mombasa Road the farthest you can get ni Nyayo. Kutoka hapo huwezi pita Nyayo. Yeah.
Super crazy.
Like they've literally shut down the city.
Yeah, they've shut down the city. That is what is happening. But as we just come to the end of the show, how is it on your end, Syokimau? Is it calm?
Syokimau is calm. But no longer there's protests.
Oh.
Yeah, in no longer there's protests. But Syokimau is calm. There isn't much happening. You want to do wanna do old people things, taking walks with their sportswear. They're now taking the day to exercise.
Good for them, man. Good for them.
Yeah. How is Rongai? How is Rongai looking?
Nothing is happening. Hakuna polisi wako everywhere.
Are people outside?
Mi sijatoka.
Just tension. Businesses are not open. There's tension.
Yeah, and the police have been up from 5 a.m. So it's crazy.
Not 5 from yesterday. From yesterday, when I was leaving Jana, actually when I was coming Jana, there was a lorry hapo nje ya MMU. Mchana asubuhi kulikuwa na lorry already. Na walikuwa shaeka roadblock hapo MMU. Jana jioni nikipita, hiyo lorry ilikuwa imejaa mapolisi na walikuwa wameleta ingine jana usiku.
Yeah, so they've been doing that the whole night and putting cops. Every 2 minutes there's a cop. Every 2 minutes walk there's a cop. Everywhere in Rongai. So Rongai being a notorious spot for all this. Yeah, but family, that is what is happening. We hope you're staying safe. Kindly stay safe. Keep it locked. And of course, we'll keep you guys posted. Have a beautiful day. And thank you guys for joining me this afternoon, Joby and Kamlesh. Enjoy your day so far.
You too.
Yes.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Whispers to herself, afraid, holding her breath. Maybe he might hear her. See, he doesn't feel the same way.